Welcome to Thriving Tribesmen. My name is Kuri, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode. Today's Monday, and it's a little bit different because I'm putting out this episode earlier because my child is now off school. So usually I would record these episodes before I collect my daughter. So that's like my slot. But now I've gone to the gym and I'm going to do it now before I go back into the house because it'll be chaos. I won't even get it done if I try and do it at home when everybody's at home, because my wife is a teacher as well. So for the next 6 weeks, she's off school. So very soon we'll be going for a holiday. I think it's the second week of August. So I will try and be consistent on my holiday as well. Because last time when I got busy over the week, the Spotify started doing something weird with my the algorithm. So he just thought, because I'm not creating content, it wasn't now giving you notifications. So I had to remain consistent. So I'll aim for 5 episodes for that week, but I'll try and do that in the morning. So I'll wake up earlier than everybody, have a workout, and then straight after my workout, then have a recording. Because I think I get also very antsy if I don't record an episode. I just feel like I'm behind. So this is a very important part of my life. And it's also important because I get to hear from you guys as well. And today I was speaking to a potential client, and he was telling me that he listened to some of the things I spoke about. We talked about the voice tone stuff. He tried it and he got it got a positive response from it. So he didn't quite get to the point where he wanted to, but he got a positive response, and he was very excited to share that. And I was very excited for him because the voice tone stuff is very hard to implement by yourself. So I try and explain as best as I can through the podcast, but it in itself is something that when the guys that I speak to, when I'm coaching them, I have to guide them through it for a series of times. So to actually get it without having to get somebody like a coach to make you accountable for it is quite a big feat. So I think that's a very, very good response. So I was very happy to hear that. And again, with the coaching call, it went well. We pointed out a few things that we might need to work on and change and so on. So which was pretty good. And it was good proof for him that the coaching call isn't a sales call. It's more of me really trying to figure out what's going on and giving you a real plan on what to do. So if you really want to get involved with that, go to our Facebook group, which is Thriving Tribesmen, and then you'll get details on how to actually hop on a call with us. So we can give you a custom seduction strategy plan. So it's a blueprint for you to then go and implement and see it working before we even talk about you joining the Reignited Men. So this is why it's so powerful, because it's almost like Netflix. You get to consume the product before you actually consider even buying, or even if we invite you to buy. So that's that out of the way. The weekend was pretty good. I started putting more lessons plans for Reignited Men at the moment. The guys that are within Reignited Men, we're having conversations daily. So we are literally, so from Monday today, I've got at least 4 calls to go through, and I'm looking forward to every single one because there's a few things that we're going to be talking about. And I want to share a little bit of that with you guys, which is comfort. So within every interaction that you have, whether it's with your spouse or at work or any interaction, one of the most important things that you have to establish is comfort. So, and the difference between that is, for example, if you're walking down the street, for example, if you're walking your dog or just walking down the street late at night, and there was a woman walking on that same street coming the other way, her level of comfort is pretty low, because all of a sudden she is thinking about there's a man on the street, so on. So more likely she would cross the street, even though you've got no bad intentions whatsoever, but her level of comfort will cause her to act in a certain way. Just as well as if you were walking down the street, the same street, and it's really late at night, and there was 4 young men making noise, and they just looked like thugs, for example. So they looked like thugs. They were making noise. They were holding something. The level of comfort is different to if you're walking on the same street and then you see a really old man walking his dog. Your level of comfort, again, you can see how comfort within an interaction becomes very important. And this plays out every single day within your relationship, that her level of comfort is disrupted by your actions and your behaviors every single day. So, for example, if you're frustrated and you are harboring a lot of resentment towards her because there's no sex within the relationship, it makes it not comfortable within any interaction because she feels that, and you communicate that. And whether you're being nice, overly too nice, or overly too available, she will know that there's something going on, and her level of comfort is disrupted. So now it becomes very important to understand, so how do I actually increase comfort within the relationship? And if you thought I was going to keep that from you guys because I wanted you guys to join Reignited Men, you're wrong. I'm going to actually give it to you. Like I said, for us, where we actually make money from Reignited Men is more when we give you accountability. So some of you guys will be able to figure this out and do it yourself. I don't really know why I keep make it seem like I'm selling. So I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about that, actually. So anyways, there's 3 things that you have to consider. It's when you're building comfort is the way you're communicating verbally, your body language, and your intent. When you think of those 3 things, this is very, very important that you watch your tone. And generally your tone, especially your tone. In fact, I think we'll talk about the tone, and then we can talk about the other ones later on, especially if you come to the strategy session, actually. Because I think it will be more benefit, because I'll be able to give you a thing called a dialogue analyzer, which then teaches you, or at least gives you a reference point for this. So the voice tone, when you're communicating, if at any point, for example, when talking about voice tone, if you trail down when you speak, it speaks of certainty. If your voice tone is actually also influenced by your body. So if you are relaxed, then it gives that feeling of relaxation to her. You transfer this as you speak. So as you speak down, the voice tone also speaks certainty to what you're saying. If you are speaking and then you're trailing up, it kind of sounds like you're unsure of what you're saying. So if I say, is voice tone really important? Or voice tone is really important? Can you hear how that trailing up makes it seem like I'm not talking about, when I talk about voice tone, it isn't that important. I'm not sure if it's important, which is the difference, or at least the contrast to that is voice tone is really important. So the fact that trailing down is what creates this certainty into what I'm saying, and therefore you can communicate that, and therefore when you feel certain, it then establishes that comfort around it. And you're probably wondering, well, she should just feel comfortable because we're married, I love her, and so on. But generally women feel a lack of control, especially if there's children in the house, especially with the fact that it's a sexless relationship. There's a lot of things that she's already dealing with in terms of loss of control, and the fact that you're putting it on her to have the ability to change the relationship from a sexual standpoint. She might actually not have the tools for it, and therefore rendering her no control. So she really just she weaponizes shame. So she comes and uses shame in order to destabilize you, or at least to see if she can trust you in order to regain control. And when she does that, generally most of you guys show lack of control, and therefore you get into this spiral, or where she's just continuously feeling not in control, you're not in control, and then she can't trust you to be in control, and therefore you're focused on these are the shitty parts of the rejection or cycle of the sex, rather than the actually good positive vibes around sex. So I've mentioned a lot of things, I've pointed out a lot of things. Hopefully that all makes sense. If you've got any questions, come to the Facebook group, Thriving Tribesmen. Ask the questions. We can walk you through what that might look like in terms of fixing the tone. And I think in order for you to actually really get better at this, like I said, I've created a tool which is called the Dialogue Analyzer. It helps you to look at your tone. So it just gives you to score your tone, your body language, your intent. It gets you to score that, so that when you score it, it's almost like looking at game footage. So when you play a game, you start noticing where you made the mistakes, and then you can actually start seeing points of improvement. And by doing that, it actually improves your interaction. So in order to get that, you can actually go to our Facebook group. You'll be able to get the dialogue analyzer as you come to the strategy session. Like I said, it's not a sales call. It's an opportunity for you to actually get an understanding of what's actually going on in the relationship and the steps that you might need to take in order to actually start changing it and have a successful and fulfilling relationship. So thank you very much for listening. I'll be speaking to you soon. Take care.